So what's up, guys? Back again. Forgot to record. Lost my camera. Well, not lost it. It was charging, and then I forgot where I left it to charge. So I'm doing this today. Pulling this ring gear off of the differential to go on that one. I have an in-factory diff, and I've already got the ring gear off. All the stupid bolts that are right-hand threaded because Honda took a page out of Chrysler's book. So we're doing that, but I just stopped to find the camera, and I also realized that this nice little washer is bending. I broke it. Okay, so next day, kind of forgot to record yesterday after everything unfolded, but I ended up using a press after the gear puller kind of worked. So got new differential bearings, in factory ordered, speedometer ring gear. Need to get new bolts for this because they're reverse thread, and I stretched all of them trying to get them off. And then the last bearing. So just need to clean the bottom half of the case off, measure the new diff clearance, and then order some new bearings, and it'll be good to go. What's up, guys? Yeah, I'm here. I'm back. I fixed something, I think. Changed my side mirrors. But today is going to be the day I finally reassemble my new differential. I've got my old one down there, so I've gone from LS open diff, in-factory helical gear diff. It's not plated, it's not clutch, it's just a cheap gear diff. And then I've got them all to go back into that little transmission case. It was an LS transmission I got for cheap. And then here's the gear stacks, shift fork, and somewhere back there is the washers that go for the input shaft. So yeah, that's the plan. Alright, so this is kind of the other half of the setup besides the differential over there. It's 10 new bolts, oil plate that I broke. Whoa. Stud for a transmission, countershaft, shift boot, axle seal, main shaft bearing, and input shaft bearing and seal. And if you know Hondas, those two go out a lot, and they're a pain in the ass. You have to tear all this apart just to do those. So while it's apart, I thought I'd tear it out. So now it's kind of windy. Hopefully it didn't pick it up. So whenever you do anything Honda differential related, remember the bolts are counter threaded like old Chryslers, and if you try to, so basically loosening is tightening, tightening is loosening. It's really weird. I don't even know. I think I'm in camera. I'm in camera. So yeah, when you do that, just remember, and if you tighten it, or if you're trying to loosen it, you'll actually tighten it and stretch the bolt, and I did that, and that's why I only have one left that's just using to hold the ring gear on. I got 10 new ones. So yeah, they recommend blue thread locker and torquing it to like 74.5 foot-pounds, I believe. So we're gonna go with. Slight debacle. Starting to wonder if I should not put them in thread locker and then torque them, or just go all the way around and torque them all. So I had a slight freak out, but these three are now torqued down, so I'm gonna get on to the rest. Alright guys, so ring gears, or differential and ring gear are done and together, so now it's time to crack this back open. Got 2 new axle seals that I need to figure out which side to go in because I've already forgotten. And then start putting all the internals back together, and then I've got like everything else over there. The gear stacks and all the shift selectors. But we'll go ahead and smack all this back together right now. Need this. No! That didn't work. Alright, so what I need to do, I have no idea if the camera will be facing that way. Maybe. So what I need to do is, God damn it, who? Whatever, camera. Okay, so I need to put a input shaft bearing and seal here, counter shaft bearing, and a little oil plate there, and then the axle seal right here. And then I'll start slapping the rest together. So I made a mistake. Put the differential in, forgetting about the counter shaft bearing and this little oil plate that goes behind it, and the differential got stuck in the housing. So that was like 10 minutes of fun, but now I'm back to what I do. Fucking everything else up. So plate goes in, and then my counter shaft bearing is right here. So there, here we go again. Again, counter shaft bearings in. Don't know if you can see it. Counter shaft bearings in. Just put the input shaft seal in. I tighten down this little holder thing for the counter shaft bearing, and then put the input shaft bearing in. Pop the differential back in, hopefully for the last time, and then I'll start making sure everything's right, and then we'll go from there. Well, ran into an issue. One of the differential bearings, which is currently in my car, appears to be bad. I don't know. I'm gonna ask a few people and see, but it doesn't sound very happy with life right now. And the bearing on the other side is completely silent and is smooth, and that one kind of skips. So yeah, gonna have to see what's going on there. Hi guys, what's up? So it's like 2 days later. I went down, talked to some people, and I think I was just being a spaz, which is kind of how it works. Turns out apparently all they needed was oil. The bearings needed oil. I put some oil in it Tuesday, let it sit yesterday, let it sit this morning, and they spin fine and they're quiet now. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started smacking the rest of this back together. Need to get all the crap over there. And then, yeah. I'm only going to work on it in a couple days, or for about an hour or two. I've got to go to work later, so see what all I can get done in the next 2 hours. Damn it. Alright, so diff's in, shafts are over there, and this is my little assembly box with all the shift forks and the shift selector. Oh, that's what I was looking for. Other things in here is Honda puts a transmission magnet in your casing to begin with, and it goes right down in here. I don't remember which way it goes. I think it goes this way. I think it goes that way. But whenever you take any of these apart, I always scrape these off, because I mean mine was caked up to probably this line right here with just metal shavings. It just happens, it's weak brass synchros. So yep, just remember to clean it off. Magnet goes back in there, and then just shift forks go on there. Reverse idler, end plug, or the plug, there's that. There's shift selector. I've got to figure out how to put the shift selector back together, because it was, everything came in this box when I bought the transmission all that time ago. Ooh, that looks good. So I've got to figure out how to put all this back together and then put it all in the transmission. Not very fun, in all honesty. This sucks. Sorry, I'm getting better recording. Camera's kind of dying, but everything's in. I fought with the shift forks forever, and then I fought with the shift change holder, and then reverse idler, bolt down, or the little selector arm. There's the idler itself. All three of these shift forks go back down in there. And then it's long bolt. There's a short bolt here. Don't mix them up, because they get like bottoms out or something weird. I don't know. Transmission's in, or the magnet's in. I've shifted the shifter rod, and it has 3 different positions, which is what they told me you should feel. So I'm going to smack the case back on, set it on its side, and see if everything spins before I seal this and bolt it down, because I don't want to seal this, bolt it down, and then it doesn't spin, and then I've got a bigger problem, and I got to take it somewhere. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So what's up, guys? It's been a long story as to how I got here, but it's finally done. I had a snafu with the transmission not being in neutral, and I couldn't get the case down, but the case is down. All the bolts are in, top thing's in, the reverse bolt, all that's back in, so we're done.